first thing you need to do, take a pan, put it in your oven, middle level, turn your oven on to about 500 degrees. Your rice should already be cooking. So this will probably take about 10 minutes for the pan to get to be about the right temperature. Okay, so take the second pan. Now this is going to be salmon for all of us. But you're probably going to just use maybe 1 or 2 fillets. Always cook an extra bit more than you expect because you can always use it for leftovers. The most important thing is smell the fish. Okay, not totally fresh. I don't smell, okay, not too bad. It's probably a day older than it needed to be, but this is good because then I can show you how you should deal with that, okay? Wash your hands after handling the fish. Always dry with a paper towel. Okay. Japanese always say if the fish is not perfectly fresh to use a nice little cheap sake and you sprinkle over it. As I said, this is still good fish, but it's not fresh. I can tell the difference. Okay? So typically you would wait probably about 2 to 3 minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and shorten the time. These fillets are really nice, but you always want to break that like that. The best knife to do that with is a bread knife. Okay, for this one, this is a tail piece. And as I think I remember telling you, I always use a digit for measuring, just in case. And you won't need to cut any further on this one because this is a thin piece. Okay? So once again, wash your hands. Okay, this is the fun part. Now you can use the tube ginger, but you have the Yuki ginger, which is really good. About that amount. This is going to take a little bit more. Rub your ginger. And I never use garlic on salmon. Salmon is too nice of a fish to use garlic. This is more Japanese style than Chinese style. Okay, rub your garlic into all your little slots there. Okay, now you don't have any ponzu. I don't think we sent that with you, but this is like totally awesome for your fish. Put your thumb over the opening and sprinkle. Okay. Now for you, this size of fillet would be good for like maybe 1 or 2 meals depending on your appetite, or you can get a tail end, which if you kind of undercook this part and you cook this to firmness depending on, you can eat that for dinner and then save this for later, which means it would reheat really nicely for you. Okay. So now the next step is we're going to do the most impressive throwing the fillets onto the aluminum foil and throwing down on the heating pan that's in the oven. Sorry about that. Okay.
Go.
Okay. Good sizzle. Could be more. Put it back into your oven. If it's convection oven, you turn on your convection and turn it down to 275. Now, this will now go into the laundry because you've used raw fish on it. This will go into the dishwasher. And you'll do that for about until 13 minutes, but at 5 minutes you'll need to get your broccoli started. It's been about 7 minutes. Take your broccoli. This is the best knife in the world. They call them granny knives. Your grandmother Huber would cook these stems and make her sons eat them, but I didn't. So, rinse them, do a quick drain, and there's enough water that's on these that when you put them in the microwave, it'll help sting them. Okay, always put them trunk side down. Imagine these as little trees, and people think that's funny, but it helps cook them properly. Okay, and you'll put this in the microwave for 5 minutes and 30 seconds for a very powerful. Always try it 5 minutes first on your microwave until you see how it cooks for you. Take your fork, and if it feels tender, and you know what I mean by being tender is if you'd like to eat it. So 5 minutes and 30 seconds for these.
Go.
Okay, it's been 13 minutes. Never ever take anything out of the oven that is wet. Always use a dry towel or oven mitts. But seeing as you have my oven mitts, I need to use a dry towel. Okay, this looks really nice. Turn off. You don't have convection, but if you have convection, whoever else watches this. Okay. Broiling is a really nice finish for this. Then this is where you take your mirin, and once again, kind of sprinkle. Now this is not done the way most Americans like to eat their fish. If you can, I don't know if you can look in here, but there's actually, you can still see a little pink. Let's see if I can, sorry about that. There's still a little bit of pink, which is actually, really, in my opinion, the best way to eat a good saltwater based fish. Is still a little bit of undoneness because it makes them really tender. Now this piece right here is like totally done. These three aren't. This one most Americans would eat with no problem. Okay, so I hear the broiler kicking in. what they would call a commercial type consumer, like the Viking that we have, the broiling will take time to like half of what, you have to like really watch it. I'm actually going to move up one of my racks. Get another towel. Okay. I'm going to move this up. Never walk away from anything that's being broiled. Basically, you need to work off of look and smell. It's something that it takes time. Okay, now I'm going to pull this out even though I wouldn't do normally. See how this is browning already? I'm flipping it around to make certain I get a good coverage and pulling a little bit forward because I want the thicker parts to get a little bit more. But this is looking really good. Okay, I think depending on your preference, you could probably broil it more, but in my opinion, this is a good way for it to look. So I'm going to turn off my broiler, wait till it shuts down. Okay, shuts down. That's some nice fish there. Okay, always finish with a little sprinkling of kosher salt. Now in the past, also what I've done is I've taken togarashi, and depending on your preference, you can, if you want it spicy that night, so I'll just do a few. So, your broccoli should be done. I don't have a fork, but yeah, this looks good. Okay, bon appetit.